everybody, welcome to the Master and Drum Whiskey Room on a Sunday night. Thanks for coming in. I didn't change the intro to Wednesday night live stream. It's actually Sunday night. I'm sure you guys have figured that out. Thanks for coming in. I was ready to, try to do this next week, but I'm actually going to be traveling next week to Denver. So I'm going to be in Denver, so I figured I would do my live stream tonight because I got a lot of great feedback on my bracket championship, and I wanted to just talk about it, do a quick recap of it, go through the brackets again, see what you guys thought. Plus, we're going to be drinking some really cool samples tonight that I've had my hands on for a little while, including Pappy Van Winkle 20 year, which is the one Pappy Van Winkle I've never had. So let me get started here and say hi to you guys in the chat. We have a bunch of people already coming in on a Sunday night. I really appreciate it, guys. We have Neil the Deals in the house, the Dan the Man Trout, Nick Zangatsis is in the house, Go Habs, John Watson, Brian Brennicky, Miguel Torres, Carl H is here, Joshua Fetter, Brian Brennicky, Michael Hassett, Eric Waite out in California. How you doing, buddy? Christine Deems is in the house, John Watson, Chad Wallace, William Davilar, how you doing, buddy? Steve A, I think I said hi to you, not sure. Miguel Torres, DJ Beacon's in the house. Who else we got? More people coming in. Rostislav Traps, how you doing? Thank you for coming in, buddy. Cap and Make It Happen. He'll be in and out as usual. Thanks, John. Richie Z, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in. All right, we have 35 in the chat. Well, Joey D's in the house. What's up, Joey? Thanks for coming in. Jeremy Morgan from Alaska. Wow, man. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. So like I mentioned, guys, what I want to do is just talk about the March Madness Championship, how it went. It was a lot of work. It was a labor of love. I'm happy it's over, but also kind of sad it's over as well, because I definitely learned a lot from trying a lot of those bourbons, especially in a flight like that. So real quick, first, I haven't done a live stream of my own in a while, so I really want to say thanks to my patrons who've supported me. This is the latest list. All you guys, some of you even in the chat, that have supported the channel for a good while now. I really appreciate it. I have some really cool stuff for you guys coming very soon, working on some new swag. So I just want to say thank you to you guys. It's been thank you for all your input. It's been a great time. So what am I starting with tonight? I'm starting with the champion, Wild Turkey 101, which I got very mixed reactions on. So a lot of people were not surprised. And then I would say 3/4 of everyone were not surprised that Wild Turkey 101 was the champion. But then I got a lot of people that couldn't believe it, and they really thought that Eagle Rare would have won. Eagle Rare was kind of the other one in the clubhouse that everyone was kind of rooting for. So, hey, how you doing, Anita? Thanks for coming in. Nice to see you. Bryson's in the house. Well, we got 40 in the chat. Awesome. More people coming in. Let's see. All right, cool. So let's go through them real quick, guys. So what I want to do is show you. This was bracket 1, if you remember. So bracket 1 was Four Roses, Maker's Mark, Wild Turkey, Evan Williams, single barrel. This one was pretty easy to kind of figure out if you remember. Four Roses and Wild Turkey really made it through pretty easy. Maker's Mark. That Evan Williams I thought would do better, but I guess the bottle I had was just really flat. Yes, Anita. Yes, I'm sorry. We call you Wendy. So those two made it through pretty easily, I would say. I actually thought the Four Roses small batch would do better, and a lot of other people did. I don't know what you guys feelings were on it, but I really thought the Four Roses were going to do better. Before we get started, though, let's do a quick dram for the night. Say cheers. Thanks for coming in. It's a Sunday night. We got 40 people in the chat. Everyone just hanging out. Cheers. Hope it's been a really fun whiskey weekend. So cheers, everybody. Yeah, Wild Turkey 101, man. It's the winner. So that's the thing. So Michael Hassett did bring up a good question. He said, do you think if Eagle Rare was higher proof, it would have fared better? So we're going to talk through that, because now let's go to bracket 2. So bracket 2 was the big surprise for everybody. I had Larceny, Elijah Craig Small Batch, Knob Creek Small Batch, and Jim Beam Distiller's Cut in there. Elijah Craig Small Batch comes in at about 94 proof. Larceny is also lower than that. So you would think that the proof did have something to do with it, but also that Elijah Craig Small Batch I thought was just kind of again, it wasn't staying consistent with its flavor compared to the other ones when I was going through them. So I got a lot of questions like, how did Larceny not make it through? How did Elijah Craig not make it through? You know, I know Eric Waite was calling shenanigans. He was saying that it was, you know, it was Russian collusion, which I thought was hysterical. Oh, hey, George Kaplan. Thanks for coming in, man. Thanks for coming in, Cap. So, yeah, I don't know if 10 points of proof would be different. Even the Elijah Craig Small Batch, I mean, that's 94. I mean, the 6 proof points really make a big difference. It really was, when you're doing flights like that, what I was really looking for was consistency from sip to sip. You know, in between. If you take one sip, then you take a second one, then you take a third, do all those flavors that you get on the first sip, do they stay? Or do they flatten out? Or they just kind of go away? Some people, you say, oh, well, just get smoother. But for me, I want to taste that flavor every time I go in for a sip. So that was really kind of the difference with those two. Then if we go to bracket 3, bracket 3 was Eagle Rare, 1792, OGD Bonded, and Early Times. OGD Bonded almost made it through. I almost had picked that one over actually over the Eagle Rare. I was debating back and forth with those. But Eagle Rare just had more of a fuller flavor profile to me. And the Early Times was just delicious. Early Times made it to the final 4, as you guys know. So that was a lot of fun. Eric Waite, yes, a conspiracy of the Illuminati. Exactly. So what happened next was the 1792 was, that one was really sweet. It just didn't have enough of a flavor for me. But then we got to bracket 4, which this one actually ended up being the hardest one, actually overall. As hard as bracket 2 was, bracket 4, Old Forester Signature, Buffalo Trace, OGD 114, and Bullet. OGD was a clear winner of this bracket, but the other one out of this bracket was really, really tough to pick. Bullet, actually, I thought, made a little bit of a play, which I haven't had Bullet in a long time, especially straight. Old Forester Signature did really well, tasted really good, but I felt like that had stuff missing that the Early Times one did from Brown Foreman. And then Buffalo Trace made it through. And then finally, once we went to the bracket final, as you see, Wild Turkey, Knob Creek, Early Times, and OGD made it through. I was this close to picking OGD. So everyone's asking me, why did OGD make it? Why didn't OGD make it? I think it was because I touched on it a little bit in the last video. It was really because the spiciness of it, which is good. I do like the spiciness and the citrus of it, and the long finish and the proof was really, really good. But I feel like that spiciness and the high rye of it kind of hides the typical bourbon flavors that I really like, the caramels, the vanillas. You just get more of the balance in the Wild Turkey 101, I think. At least in that back-to-back it did. Maybe this just happens to be a really good bottle of Wild Turkey 101. I don't know. But the 114 definitely made a push. Let's see, I kind of wish Buffalo Trace would release the line at 107 proof, or they have already supply problem. Yeah, a 107 proof Buffalo Trace would be pretty sweet. I mean, you do have Colonel Taylor, which is 100 proof, which is the same mash bill. Miguel Torres says, I thought Eagle Rare would make the finals. A lot of people did. I actually thought it was going to do better, too. I had it seated pretty high. It just, I don't know. I think in that specific bracket, I think the proof went out. So good. Bryson M said, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is the best out there. Yeah. Neil the Deal at Miguel. Yeah, I thought it would do well. Yeah, and that's a really great point, Neil. When you put Eagle Rare in a flight against ones that are higher proof or ones that are close to quality, that's where it kind of loses something, and that's what happened. By the way, I'm wearing my Aquavite shirt today. How mind-blowing was that live stream yesterday with him and Ralphie? I was freaking out. It was like watching, I don't know, if there's like a such thing as like the Beatles of whiskeytube, those two guys are it. I was freaking out, and when it first started and Roy was by himself, I saw in the bottom corner of the screen, I saw Ralphie's flannel. I'm like, is that Ralphie? And I was freaking out, and then he starts spinning his hat, and then he came on screen. Oh man, mind blown. It was amazing. I got a little bit giddy when he mentioned when Roy talked about my channel a little bit to him. I was like, no way, Ralphie's not going to watch my channel, but that's so cool that he knows about it now. It was so epic. It was so amazing. It really was. Yeah, I was freaking out. So before I pour my another dram of the night here, guys, whose bracket got blown up tonight? We had Texas Tech made it through, Virginia, Auburn, big win today against Kentucky, and Michigan State beats Duke. Holy crap! Big upsets, man. My bracket was blown up yesterday when Texas Tech beat Gonzaga, so that kind of sucked for me. So there goes my bracket. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, last night was amazeballs. That's a very good way to put it, Eric. But yeah, I so more on the March Madness bracket. I got a lot of questions on. I kind of touched on how I tasted the different whiskeys and what stood out in each one. So I think kind of my summary was the proof definitely stood out. When you put different proof points next to each other, low or high, my palate, I'm used to drinking a little bit of a higher proof stuff. If you like lower proof stuff, maybe the Eagle Rare or the Buffalo Trace would have stood out to you. But for me, the other ones just had more flavor. Oh, my hands are going now. And then, Eric's got a question here. Let's see. Ralphie is the second whiskey tuber to be a guest at Roy's house. I was the first. Oh, Eric is claiming the first. Got it. Yeah, you were the first, Eric. Good job. The Dan Trout says he has Texas Tech going all the way, baby. Oh, nice. Nice, Dan. Yeah, I had a couple of people say they wanted me to do another bracket because their brackets for their basketball games already got blown up. So they wanted me to do a $30 to $40 bracket championship in bourbon so they could at least bet on that. And that made me laugh. But I was glad everybody enjoyed the series. It was a crazy amount of work and a crazy amount of editing and shooting, and I had to get some other people involved to help me do the blind tasting. But I thought, it went really well. I think the next one I'm going to do is probably a 30 to 40 bracket, which opens up a whole nother slew of bourbons that are really good in that bracket. But we're going to get there. We're going to do it eventually. JR Forsyth said, have you done a best bourbon for the money video? Yeah, I have, JR. If you go to my top 5 go-to available bourbon video, I have one of those. So if you look down at my videos, you'll see that one. That one has like over 40,000 views or something. Every time I go back to it, it's crazy. People just always want to know what those go-tos are. I've actually gotten the funniest comments out of that video. Some people are like, oh man, I agree with everything you said. I got this one guy that said, this guy has no taste. Yeah, some crazy comments for that one. Obviously, that's a very opinionated type of video to do. Everyone has their own top 5. Pretty funny. Let's see. Brian Brennicky says, Purdue, Duke, and UK loss warms an Indiana fan's heart. I can imagine, Brian. Let's see. Joshua Feder, was a Ralphie stream more of an interview or a conversation? I didn't get to see it. It was a little bit of both. It was mostly a conversation. It was pretty awesome just to hear Ralphie just kind of go off on certain subjects. I mean, he's just so ridiculously knowledgeable. I mean, Roy's knowledgeable too. And Roy was kind of like watching him and a little bit in awe of his, what the things he was saying. And he was a really funny guy, which You know, you do get to see some of his humor in his reviews, but he was really had a great personality. He's very passionate, obviously, but it was a really fun interview. I really definitely go watch it. Eric Wade, how about a best finished bourbon video? Yes, Eric, that's another one I'm working on. There are so many finished bourbons out there now. I want to do a best finished bourbon video. That might end up being some... I don't know if I'm going to do a bracket thing, but I might do like a blind tasting. I think I'm going to pick like 5 different ones, 5 of my more favorite ones. Joseph Magnus is definitely in that mix. I really enjoy the Joseph Magnus one. I might throw the Wild Turkey Revival in there. That's probably my favorite one. I feel like it's a beautiful finished whiskey. The Bellmead Cognac one is an amazing one that I love. I'm just looking at my shelf over here. I mean, so many great finished whiskeys now. I'm still not a fan of Angel's Envy. It's just way too sweet. But there's a lot of good ones now that I feel like are doing it, you know, definitely doing it the right way. Go Hab said knowledgeable or opinionated. Definitely both. Definitely both. Brian Brennicky said you could do a bracket with just Bellmead. Yeah, actually, Brian, I'm gonna do a video soon with all 3 of their finished ones that come in that 3-pack: the Cognac, the Madeira, and the PX. Ralphie is also a bit fired up on certain issues. Oh, absolutely, he's definitely very. I use the word passionate, but fired up might be a better way to do it. All right, guys. So what I want to do is I was very lucky enough to get some samples from you guys, some of you out there. So, oh, Jimmy Jarmer said just opened a Jefferson's. Impressed. You got any of them? Yeah, Jimmy Jarmer. I have this Jefferson's cask strength right here, which I really like. The Jefferson's Pritchard Hill, which is another finished one that's finished in Cabernet. That one's pretty good. I don't want to pay $80 for it, but it's a pretty good finished bourbon. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of choices out there now with finished bourbons. Okay, so first, the first one I'm gonna do is because I have a little bit of mix of everything here. So I've had so many bourbons, obviously over the last month with the Bourbon Bracket Championship. What better way to finish off a bourbon bracket to finish off the month of March with Pappy Van Winkle 20-year. This is from Sipper Social Club. This is from Jeremy. He was kind enough to send me this one. So I just want to say thanks to Jeremy from Sipper Social Club. Hopefully he'll see this. I just want to say thank you. So bottled at 45.2% ABV, a wheated bourbon. As you all know, this is pretty impossible to get most of the time. But I was really curious. I wanted to open this with you guys, finish off the month of March for a great championship round. But also, this is the only Pappy Van Winkle I've never had. I've had the 15. I've had the 23. The 15 has been my favorite. The 23 was okay. I liked it. It's very. Everyone says it's very wood forward, very oaky, and that's very true. The bottle I had was also a little bit bitter, very musty. Wasn't crazy about it. The 15 was kind of the sweet spot, but everyone said wait till you try the 20, so I have it right here. So we're going to try the 20 tonight. Let's see here. I'm pouring this whole thing out. It's a 1-ounce sample, so I'm pouring the whole damn thing. Why not? All right, guys. So here's the color here real quick. It's pretty damn dark. Pretty damn nice and dark for a bourbon. What makes me happy about this too is that he sipped down on that 20 a good amount, so it's got some air in it. So a lot of those flavors that you want to come out are probably coming out already. Eric Wade said he recently had the Pappy 23, overly woody. Absolutely. Hey Trevor, thanks for coming in, buddy. Appreciate it. Trevor Wilson's in the house. All right, so this is my first go at the Pappy 20-year. Let's see what we get here. Well, it definitely smells like Buffalo Trace on the nose. Definitely got that wheated bourbon smell. There's a ton of... this is all cinnamon and raisins. You know that cereal, Cinnamon Toast Crunch? That's what it smells like on the nose. Hey, Amy W's in the house. How you doing? Thanks, Amy, for coming in. Hope you and Georgia, are doing well. Hey, Bourbon Sane's in the house. How you doing, Chris? Thanks for coming in, man. Wow, this is really nice on the nose. There's a lot of cinnamon, a lot of raisin. There's definitely a good amount of oak, but it's not that bitter oak I was getting on the 23. You're getting those vanilla characteristics. I'm getting a ton of apple and honey in here, too. For those of you that just joined us, so you're trying a sample here of the Pappy Van Winkle 20 year from Sipper Social Club. So, Steve A said, when I tried the Pappy 20, me and everyone I was with thought it was like smelling a jar of vanilla extract. Yeah, there is some very heavy vanilla in here, Steve. That's a good point. But I'm surprised at how much of an apple and a pecan note I'm getting out of here. The pecan, not so much, because I usually get that on a Buffalo Trace. But there is some definite vanilla extract going on in here. Wow. This is... Hey, what's up, Scotch Comic? Thanks for coming in, buddy. Yeah, the nose on this, every time I go back in, is getting better and better here. Apples, more oak. A lot of vanilla. All right, I'm going in. Cheers. Pappy Van Winkle 20. Cheers, everybody. Let's see what we get. Oh. Oh. Yeah, man, Steve A, that vanilla extract just blew up my palate. The front of the palate was not that great. The finish, though, was really good. Let me go for another sip here. Oh, there we go. Okay. The palate on the front of that is a lot lighter. Honey, apple. Still getting that little bit of pecan note, but then the finish is just all oak and pure vanilla extract. That is super sweet on the finish. The finish is long. Longer than I would think for, you know, being not too high of a proof. Wow. Yeah, and it's staying around. This is just totally turned into vanilla ice cream. It's like pure vanilla ice cream with some wood chips on it. Delicious, right? All right. Let me go for another sip. Wow. So, like, the front of the palate is where I'm actually getting the most oak note, the oak flavor, but it's like right before it gets a little bit bitter and oaky, it stops, and then it just turns really sweet. The vanilla extract finish on it is really delicious. There's a honey and apple note, like I mentioned, a little bit of a pecan note, but for the most part, it's staying pretty consistent. Really good. Would I pay you know, $2,000 for this? Nope. You know why? Because I like the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof better than this. Way better than this. I'll even take Elijah Craig Barrel Proof over this, actually. And I've been saying it, but now that I know. But if I had to compare the Pappy Van Winkles, I still like the 15, I think. I still think you're getting that little bit of that weird wood character right up front, but the 15 year, I feel like is perfect. This one has an amazing finish, but the front of the palate, I'm not too crazy about. J.R. Forsyth said, I found a bottle of Elmer T. Lee 90 for $90 recently. Thoughts? Elmer T. Lees are really good for $90. That's not a bad price. $90 for that. Elmer T. Lee has never been a bottle that's blown me away. It's kind of like Blanton's in that fact. It's got the same mash bill. It's got that number 2 mash bill. Obviously, it's different barrel management, but Elmer T. Lee, you know, Elmer T. Lee has I think more of a spiciness to it than the Blanton's does. I think Blanton's is a little bit more smooth, you know, for the average drinker. Elmer T. Lee to me has a little bit more of a pepper kick. So if you like that, the Elmer T. Lee you'll definitely enjoy it. Master Jerome, I know you picked 101 in the madness. However, would you choose 114 if one hasn't tried it? Absolutely. I recommend either of these two. Somebody wrote me a comic and they said that, not a comic, somebody wrote me a comment and they said that they went out to the store immediately and bought both of these. And I got a few people that said that. And it was probably half and half. Some people like the 114 better. Some people like the Wild Turkey 101 better. They were kind of going back and forth, but you can't go wrong with either of them. They're both absolutely amazing for the money. Absolutely love it. The Early Times Bottled and Bond as well, which I think I put that one away. Oh, yeah, it's over there. That bottle is highly underrated. If that one had a little bit longer of a finish, that thing could have won. But compared to the finish of these two, it just wasn't holding it. Dan Trout loves the 114. Yeah, it's really, really good. All right, so let's move on from the Pappy now. Now we're going to get into, I have 3 more samples we're going to sip tonight, guys. If you guys missed it, I'm not going to be doing my live Wednesday night. I'm going to be traveling to Denver. I'm hoping to make it over to Stranahan's and a couple of other places to do some hunting. So we'll see what I find in Denver. All right, so my next sample. All right, so now we're going to switch to Scotch here because I've had some Scotch samples here for a while. So I'm going to switch it up from bourbon. And this one comes from, and I think she's in the chat, Christine Deems. So Christine Deems had sent me this one. This is the Longmorn 16 single malt, bottled at 48% ABV, 96 proof, non-chill filtered. So thank you so much, Christine, for sending this. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna taste this right now and see if I like it or not. So let me crack this open. Richie Z said, cinnamon toast crunch, yummy. Absolutely. DJ Beacon said, Jason, like your water glass. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys haven't yet, I posted on Instagram before. If you guys are interested in buying any of these glasses, I also have about 7 or 8 other options. You could go to giftsonglass.net/mashandrum, and you can order a whole mix and match any glasses you like. He's really... it's a really good company to work with. They really work with you to get some cool glasses. I make no money off of them. I just told him to just get my name out there and just sell you guys the glasses at a little bit of a discount. So, and I think if you order 4, he gives you free shipping. So, let's see. Bourbon Junkies. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Do you know what island this one's from? This is a Speyside. If you're asking me what island this Scotch is from, it's a Speyside. Speyside single malt. So let's see here. Let's crack this one open. I'm going to save half. This is a 2-ounce sample here. So here it is, the Longmorn 16. That is from Christine Deems. Thanks again. Let's see. Definitely great glasses, and you can match the force. Yep. I wish I could find a bottle of the older version. Yeah, Christine, when I was looking up stuff about the Longmorn 16, people were comparing it from the new bottle to the older bottle, saying the older bottle was better, but the new bottle is still pretty good. So I've never had this whiskey, so really, Bourbon Junkie says, that's a good island for us less Scotch drinking folk. All right. Well, on the nose, I get, right off the bat, I get a ton of toffee and citrus right off the bat. Man, that quintessential burnt toast flavor with some honey on it. This has a really nice nose. A lot of pear. Definitely a lot of pear and apple here. There's almost like a bourbon mash like vibe to it. Really interesting. A ton of barley here on the nose too that I'm getting, but that's coming through in like that whole wheat toast characteristic. G-Man, love those little sample bottles. Where can you buy those? I just get them on Amazon, man. Just get 2-ounce sample bottles on Amazon. Get a bunch. George Kaplan is pouring out a sample of Compass Box Bounty Hunter. It would be wrong of me if I didn't taste it myself, too, no? Yes, it would be very wrong, George. Join me in a dram. I have never even heard of that one, the Bounty Hunter. George, enlighten me. What's the blend in the Bounty Hunter? I'm curious. Yeah, this is still staying a lot of toffee, citrus, definitely a little bit of oak in there. 16-year-old Speyside. All right, let's go for a sip here. Cheers. Ooh, I like the finish on that one. Whoa, I just got like a... Well, let me go for one more sip here. That there was like a dark chocolate note I got on there. Crazy. Oh yeah. Burnt toast, honey, vanilla. Really good mouthfeel. That toffee characteristic is staying true throughout the whole thing. But then right at the end, I'm getting like this dark chocolate covered pear characteristic. If you guys ever got one of those edible arrangements and you got the dark chocolate pear, that's what it tastes like. Really good. Yeah, I mean, definitely a really good Scotch. Probably one of the older ones I've had, being a 16-year. A lot of citrus. This one is probably one of the more oily ones I've had on the mouthfeel. It's really sticking around. That's really nice on the palate. Really good finish to it. A little bit of a pepper aspect to it right on the finish. That burnt toast characteristic, which I really like. It's like maybe a little bit of a honey butter kind of spread on there, or some orange marmalade. I'm sorry, I equate everything to food. You guys know this. Really awesome. Christine Deem says, I love this Scotch. Yeah, it's really good. This is one of the better ones that I've tried in a long time. One of the better unpeated ones. I really like the peated ones, but this for a Speyside is actually holding my attention. And I haven't even gone back for a sip, and it's just staying, it's like staying right here. It's making me want to go in there more. It's like it's making me salivate. That's really good. Oh, Jay Chung said, awesome tournament. Thanks a lot, Jason. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was a labor of love, the tournament. It was a lot of fun to do, though. It was fun to do that with the premiere feature on YouTube, where I was able to chat with you guys and see if you guys were going to guess the bourbons. So that was fun. Hey, Johnny Blaze is in the house. How you doing? Look, he has the Pappy logo. I just had the Pappy 20. I just tried it. Thanks for coming in, Johnny. Okay. That's really good, Christine. Thank you so much. I still have half of that. I'm going to finish that off tonight. That's really, really good. Great sample. Christine, she knows her scotches. All right. So now we're going to get into two totally different samples. And I haven't seen them in the chat, but these two are from Dustin, DH Silv 2. You've probably seen him in the chat before. So I have two different samples from him. I have the Springbank 10, a local barley, coming in at 57.3% ABV. And this one, which I'm really excited to try, the Amrut Portonova. So just awesome. Eric Way just coming in with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Eric. I really appreciate it. Jabroni, sharing the love with Whiskey in the Six. Yes, we are the jabronis of YouTube. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. That's really, really generous of you. I'm gonna give you a little cheers on my Wild Turkey 101, the winning bottle. If you guys super chat, I'll give you a little right there for the 101 for the champion. Thanks a lot, Eric. I appreciate it. Yeah, I would hit my symbol that I had, but my dog is sleeping again. He's a tired boy. Let's see. Let's go to the Springbank 10 is Springbank 10 local barley, which I'm really excited to try, and this Amrut Portonova, which comes in at 62.1%. So that's a hefty proof. So let me grab some water here. Amy W, shout out to the Spartans. Yes, Michigan State. Congrats. Let's see. G-Man says, I'm on Amazon searching now and cannot find any spirits for sale. Oh, just... Amazon did a... I forgot what the bottle was. I don't know, Eric Wade, I don't know if you remember what they did sell a bottle online, an exclusive bottle through Amazon, but it was only available in the UK, I believe. Or possibly... I'm not sure where it was. It was only available, but you couldn't buy it in the States. It was an exclusive. Trying to think what brand it was. I don't know. Amazon did offer it, and I know that's something they're trying to get into. Not sure if they're going to do that, but I think with all the laws, it's going to be really hard for them to just sell alcohol. Yeah, it's only in the UK and Europe. Yep. These are empty. Okay, so... All right, so I'm going to get into here the spring. Well, I'll let you guys choose. What should I do first? You know what? I'm going to do the Springbank 10 local barley first because that's a little bit lower proof than the Amrut. So let's get into that one. I just got my hand on a Store Pick Whistle Pig 10 single barrel UK only. Welsh Toro, nice. I'm trying to get my hands on a single barrel. Store Pick Whistle Pig 10. Monica Willett sent one for me and Perry from It's My Bourbon podcast that we tasted over the weekend, and man, that thing was awesome. So I really want to try to get another Whistle Pig. Should be really good. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, I know the Amazon does not sell alcoholic beverages. What I'm asking is do you remember what bottle it was? They did sell a bottle, I think, last year or the year before. It was an exclusive bottle only available on Amazon. And I'm trying to remember what the brand was. If anyone can look it up and find out, I just can't remember what it was. J.R. Forsyth, you should do a video on allocated bourbons and what the most you would pay for them. Some prices in secondary make no sense. Actually, JR, when I actually do my reviews, I do mention the secondary price and if I would pay that price for it. I actually specifically called out Elmer T. Lee because that thing is going for about $120 on secondary, and I would not pay $120 for it on secondary. I don't think it's worth that much. The highest I would pay for Elmer T. Lee, and that's just basically on the name alone. And you know, you are getting a good quality bourbon. I probably wouldn't pay any more than $60. You know, even 70's pushing it, but I don't think it's worth that much. 120, hell no. All right, so I'm going to pour out the Springbank. Hey, Sipper Social Club's in the house. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming. Jeremy, I just opened and tried your Pappy Van Winkle 20-year. Jeremy, I'm going to throw your graphic up here again just to say thank you if you're watching. So I made that for everybody that sent in a sample for me. So thanks, Jeremy from Sipper Social Club. If you guys haven't checked out Jeremy's channel, you must do it. Guy does great reviews. He really knows his Scotch. And he's also doing some great bourbon stuff too. So definitely go check him out. Also, a couple of other guys in the chat with great channels. I'm sure you guys know. Bourbon Sane, Chris over there at Bourbon Sane has a great channel. Bourbon Junkies, those guys are hilarious. We just did they jumped in and did another round with us. Great channel as well, doing good stuff. Bourbon Junkie says, I'm a huge fan of Elmer, I have a little nostalgia for it, and I still won't pay more than $60, $70 for it. Well, there you go. Exactly. Yes, I did the Pappy, Jeremy. I figured it was a good way to finish off March and my March Madness Bracket Championship. So thank you so much again for sending that. It was really good. I was telling them on the chat that thing was like pure vanilla extract on the finish. Would I pay $2,000 for it? Hell no, but it was very good. But I still like the 15 better, I think. Hey, Whiskey Explorer's in the house. How you doing, Whiskey Explorer? Thanks for coming in. Let's see. All right, we got 61 in the chat on Sunday night. Everyone's hanging out. This is awesome. All right. So what did I just pour? I poured, and this is from, I mentioned DH Silv Dustin, so I want to say thanks to him. This is the Springbank 10-year-old local barley. I tasted a very small sample of this down at Party Source in Kentucky, and immediately was like, holy crap, this is delicious. But he was kind enough to give me a full sample, so I'm going to get to kind of spend a little bit more time with it and see how it is, see how I like it. So thanks again, Dustin, if you watched the replay. Sipper Social Club, thoughts, best Pappy you've had? Well, now that I've had all three, I still like the 15 the best. But thank you so much for that. Yeah, definitely. Yep. Whiskey in the 6, Rob coming through with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Rob. Great series, brother. Salute. Salute is how you say, cheers in Italian. Thank you so much, man. My fellow jabroni. This is for you, buddy. This is the champion. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Thanks. All right, so this on the nose is, wow. This is a lot of citrus and orange too. There's some peat in here, but Springbank just has that different type of peat characteristic to it. It's a little bit of a funky, like rubber tire type smell to it. Yeah, Rob, Eric Waite did a super chat earlier, and he just wrote, jabroni, jabroni, jabroni. That's for you and Rob, so... Me and Rob are thinking of doing like a jabroni night just to drive Daniel from Whiskey Throttle up the wall. So that should be fun. We're gonna wear the tightest shirts we have and just do a jabroni night. So it's in the works. G-Man, no, not 2 ounce samples of whiskey, just the bottles. G-Man, that's where you get the bottles so you can trade samples with people. Wow, I like the nose on this. This is has a citrus orange to it. That nice Springbank funk, that rubber tire sweetness, a lot of citrus. It still has that nice toast scent to it, and there's a saltiness to it, which is what I really love about the Campbelltown malts. Really nice little bit of it's a different saltiness that I think than when you do a Maritime like a Talisker. This one is just like, it's just more concentrated. I think that's what kind of adds to that rubber tire funk to it. Oh yeah, it's really good. Really good on the nose. Really, that Springbank funk, I mean, I know some people don't like it. I love it. I'm going for a sip. Cheers. Whoa. Yeah, the palate is way different than the nose. The palate just comes in and just kicks you right in the teeth. Man, that is salty. There's a lot of honey in there, but that barley flavor, that's like burnt toast with honey on it. That just takes over the palate with some of that funky peatiness. But again, it's not overly peaty. You get like that big brunt of it, but then it just goes away, and then it turns into like a sweetness. I'm really impressed with the Springbanks. I can't wait to keep trying more of them. Eric Waite, whiskey, you guys should do a jabroni night. It would be hilarious. We talked about it jokingly. It might happen. Wow. Yeah, this stuff is really good. It's getting better. It's getting sweeter as you sip on it. That kind of that Springbank funkiness is kind of going away, and now the honey, the citrus, it's like an orange zest now, and that barley, that pepperiness from the barley, just sticking around. This has a similar mouthfeel to the Longmorn 16, how it just kind of stays like right here. Just makes you want to keep going back for more. Really good. Hey, Daniel Whiskey Throttle's in here. What's up, jabroni? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's like saying Beetlejuice. If you say jabroni twice, Daniel just appears. Oh, man. I love that Springbank local barley. Man, I got to get a bottle of that. How much is that? That's good. That's right. So, Rob mentioned it in the chat. I'm going to be taking up a ride. I'm going to be taking a ride up to Canada to visit Rob for one of the Game of Thrones, one of the After the Thrones episode. And we're going to do a live stream right after the Game of Thrones episode. He's doing a whole series on it. So I'm gonna do that one night and go up there, and we're gonna totally do a jabroni night. It's gonna be epic. T Green says, for my first dram of the night, I'm looking at my first Springbank 12 cast strength unopened. Should I crack it? T Green, hell yeah. The cast strength, I reviewed that. It's absolutely delicious. Yeah, I love that Springbank does everything old school. Everything is in-house. It's amazing. Don't say it 3 times in front of a mirror. That's funny, Jeremy. Oh, man. Yeah, this local barley for a 10-year just packs so much flavor. Amazing whiskey. Dan E says, not a fan of Springbank. And I get that. A lot of people just don't like that Springbank funk, as they call it. I get that. It took me a little bit to get used to it. I wasn't crazy about it when I first had the cast strength because I got that the most in the cast strength. This is definitely not as funky as the cast strength. It's a little bit more refined. You definitely it's more of a barley flavor to it. It's really, really good. Richie Z says the local barley 10 I have was $160. Oh, wow. Was it that much? Yeah, Springbanks are, somewhat pricey. I had the Springbank 10, which was pretty affordable. But even that for 10-year was a little pricey where I got it. Hey, Brian Walsh is in the house, sipping on Elijah Craig barrel pick. Nice. Some of those Elijah Craig barrel picks, the regular Elijah Craig, are really good. DJ Beacon says, wish I was Cersei's brother. Really? I don't know. There's some crazy, I don't want to get into Game of Thrones talk, but there's some crazy, I guess, conspiracy theories on what's going to happen between Cersei and her brother. So, really curious what's going to happen. This is delicious. And it's just sticking there. The pepperiness of it, that barley, that burnt toast and honey flavor, it's just sticking all over my palate. It's so good. Oh, I'm loving that. Did I pour all that out yet? No, I still have a little left. All right. Man, between that and the Longmorn, you guys sent some really good stuff. All of them are really good. Jay Chung, I got the LB10 for around, I'm guessing that's Springbank 10 for around 110 a year and a half ago. Whiskey in the Six. Have you tried a Jack Daniel's barrel proof barrel pick? Yes, I have, Rob. I actually have one over there. They're pretty. The barrel proof Jack Daniel's single barrels are already delicious, but some of the barrel picks are amazing. I was only able to get one. I'm hoping when I go to Nashville in a couple weeks, I might be able to find another one. They're not really local around here, but I'm definitely going to go to some stores and see if I can find another one. Jay Chung is a Springbank Long Row fanboy. Has anyone picked up the new Long Row, the new Long Row Red yet? I know that's coming soon, isn't it? So Rob, back to your question. The Jack Daniel's barrel proof picks that I've had 3. The one I have is, all the ones that I've had are different in a little bit of a little different way. It's basically, you have you have your base Jack Daniel's flavors. You got a little bit of that banana, but there's a ton of caramel and almond and a lot of that maple that come into play. The picks go they take one aspect of those flavor profiles and take it a little bit further. So you could find one that's a little bit more maple forward. You could find one that's a little bit more, maybe some more banana forward, some more vanilla forward. So they're all a little bit different, as with most picks. Hey, the Jabroni gives me a super chat for 99 cents. Thank you, Jabroni. I'm going to give you a little, how you doing? Thank you very much. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it. Let's see. Bourbon Junkies, what store picks do you tend to lean toward? Definitely Knob Creek. Definitely Knob Creek single barrel store picks. One of the best values in the market. Russell's Reserve single barrel store picks. Automatic pickup usually, especially if they come from Camp Nelson. I love what's coming out of that warehouse lately. Other picks I'll go for are, let's see, actually the Barrel Craft Spirits. Some of their picks are amazing. If you find some Barrel Craft Spirits, they're not that easy to find. Elijah Craig, the regular 94 proof, there's definitely some good picks in there, but I tend to like to taste them before I buy it. The Maker's Mark Private Select, some of those are incredible. But again, that's one of those I taste before I buy because sometimes the stave differences that people use are a little bit funky. But easily Russell's, Four Roses, single barrel picks depending on the yeast strain and the combination of letters. OBSK, OESK, and OESO are my three favorites. Those I tend to gravitate towards as well. Amazing picks, really different flavor profiles there. Trying to think if I see any others here. Weller 107 antique picks, although for me personally harder to find. Some of those are amazing. Some of the Blanton's picks I've had are pretty good, but I don't really see them too often. Those I tend not to get. But Weller 107 picks are normally really good. That's about it as far as picks go. I've had I've had a couple of really good Old Forester single barrel picks, but those are more few and far between for me. But if I had to pick top three, Russell's single barrel, Russell's Reserve single barrel, Knob Creek single barrel, and the Weller 107 single store picks. Amazing. Four Roses too, obviously. So top four. Brian Walsh coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much. $1.99. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Cheers to you. You are the champion. That sucked. There we go. I'm going to break this glass. Brian Brennicky says, we have a new Camp Nelson pick in Fort Wayne this week. It's really good. Yeah, Brian, there's some really, really great stuff coming out of Fort Nelson. My favorite floors for store picks are in the regular warehouses for Wild Turkey are D and G. Those are my two favorite. Aside from that, anything coming out of the Fort Nelson picks are just awesome. They're just different than regular Wild Turkey flavor profiles, and I don't know, they just offer you something really different. Joshua Fetter, thank you so much, man. Thought I'd send some love on my birthday, sipping on Compass Box 3-year Deluxe. Joshua Fetter, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Joshua. This one's for you, buddy. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. I should be sending you something. Actually, Joshua, connect with me. I'll send you a dram for your birthday. Send me your email. Leave your email in the chat. I'm gonna send you something for your birthday. All right? Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming in. Joshua's really been a big supporter of the channel, so throw your email down in the chat, Joshua. I'll send you something for your birthday. I'll send you a couple samples. All right, so what we're going to do here is Whiskey Throttle, Jabroni, Jamboni. He just spelled Jabroni about 10 different ways. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, happy birthday, Josh. Awesome. All right. All right, so we're going to go to our last dram of the night, our last sample here. This is also from Dustin, DH Silv 2. And this one is the Amrut Portonova. So thank you so much, Dustin. This is 62.1% ABV. This is aged in ex-bourbon and port pipes. So I would imagine this one would come off a little bit sweeter. But really, really cool stuff. I was excited to try this one, especially being at such a high proof. And those port pipes can really put in a really nice flavor profile into a whiskey. Let's see here. Dan E. Z, does the Hazelton have the funk? Oh, the Hazel Burn. I haven't had a Hazel Burn yet. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about Hazel Burn. Cap'n Make It Happen. He's really showing the versatility of the word. Yes, he is. Cap'n Make It Happen sent me a bunch of really cool samples, a lot of Japanese whiskeys. So probably my next live, we'll go through those and do like a Japanese whiskey night, because there are some that I've never had in there. So that'll be a fun night to do that. All right. So this is the Amrut Portonova, as I mentioned, coming in at a whopping 62.1% ABV. So let's see what this is. Wow, you taste that, you definitely, not taste it, but you smell that proof on there. Now, what's cool about the Amrut, when I was looking it up, is this is, Amrut is an Indian whiskey. They distill it in India. They actually age it in a bunker that doesn't get a ton of heat, because they don't want all the heat in India to age it, too quickly. So they actually bury it underground and age it there, so it can age a little bit longer and have a little bit more of an even maturation, rather than getting bombarded with all that heat in India, which I really thought was an interesting tidbit. This smells like my grandfather's fig tree. This is all like fresh figs on the nose. Really good. Richie Z said Hazelburn 13 Oloroso is worth a try. It's basically an unpeated Springbank. All right, I'll keep an eye on it for that one. Bourbon Junkie says A119 is in Chicago. Nice. I have my A119 right here. I'm going to be reviewing this one soon. So before I taste this, guys, my next review is coming up. Obviously, I've been stocking some bottles here while doing the March Madness. So I'm going to be reviewing the A119, doing a full review of it. Doing also my next review will be Tuesday. I'm going to be releasing the Legent, the new Legent bourbon that's finished by Suntory. I forgot his name. I don't want to butcher his name. But basically, it's a collaboration between Fred No and, I want to say, Fukuyu. I forgot his last name. So it's a Jim Beam bourbon that was given to the Suntory side of the Jim Beam, and then they finished it in red wine and Cabernet, I think. I'm trying to remember offhand. So I'm going to be reviewing that. Also going to be reviewing the brand new Booker's right here, which is Teresa's batch. Going to do a head-to-head against Kathleen's batch from last year. Going to be reviewing this beauty right here. This is the William Heaven Hill 16-year bourbon. The Ardbeg Drum is coming up. So I got a lot of bottles coming up, guys, that a lot of reviews that I've had that I've kind of put on hold and doing the whole March Madness thing. Let's see. Everyone's still talking about that. Yeah, it's all about the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Really. All right, let's go for the Amrut here. Oh, damn. That's good. Wow, that is all figs, dark fruits. Wow, there's a little tobacco note in there, a little bit of like a pipe smoke, like a sweet pipe smoke. That's really unique. I've never really tasted anything like that. Wow, then there's a really nice candy, like a Fig Newton flavor, just kind of sticks around. Go for another sip of that. Cap and Make It Happen. Thank you. Shinji Fukuyu. Thank you. That's how you say it. Yeah, so Shinji or Fukuyo. So they collaborated and made Legent for Jim Beam, which is their new release. I've heard some really mixed reviews about it, but I've sipped on it a few times and didn't like it at first. Then came back, did another sip, and it was pretty good. But I think it's getting a little bit better. So now I'm going to review it after a few sips and see how it's changed. Michael Hassett, the William Heaven Hill is wonderful. Did you get it at the Visitors Tasting Center? No, I didn't. I actually got really lucky. I got it at Party Source last weekend. We were sitting there trying some different samples, and all of a sudden, we heard over the loudspeaker, for those of you interested in William Heaven Hill 16 year, we have it at our service desk right now. So I booked over there and I grabbed the bottle. So I got lucky. Neil the Deal says, right up my alley. Eric Waite, Shinji Fukuyu, the last name sounds like you're cursing someone. Absolutely, it does. Oh, man. That is delicious. This is just all figs, dark fruits, like pepper, and like some sweet tobacco, all mixed into one dram. And then the finish on it just kind of sticks around. I'm surprised it doesn't have more of a thicker mouthfeel because of the proof, but you're getting it all in the finish. That's really incredible. That's really good. We'll go for one more sip here. Really good stuff. Oh yeah. Well, okay, it's getting a little bit. See, all those really nice barley notes that I really love are now kind of taking a back seat to all the sweetness. You know, but that peppery finish on it is really kind of staying true. That's really nice. Another really unique Scotch. That's probably one of the more unique ones I've had too. That's really good. All three of these Scotches tonight were absolutely delicious. Thank you guys so much. All right, guys. So, let's see, we're going on. Oh, wow, we're already at 10 o'clock, a little bit past. Damn. Time flies when you're drinking good whiskey. Let's see, what are you guys saying in the chat here? Total Wine has the ECBP for 64. It's going to be gone right away. Yep. Johnny Blaze says cheers. All right, awesome. All right, guys. So, like I said, look for my next coming reviews coming up. I want to thank everyone tonight for all the super chats. Thank you for spending some time with me on a Sunday night, reviewing the brackets. I had such a fun time making that. Appreciate all the support, you guys. Look for my next reviews coming up soon. My first one will be that Legent. I'll be releasing on Tuesday. I will not have a live stream Wednesday night. I'm going to be in Denver. But any of the other live streams that are going live, especially Eric, obviously, you know, Eric's live stream. If Rob goes live, hopefully I'll be able to jump on that wherever I am. I know Bourbon Junkies, you guys are going live on Tuesday night, which should be really cool. Let me see. I should be back for that. Hopefully, I'd like to see Daniel go live soon, so I could just sign on to his chat and call him a jabroni the whole night. Thanks again, everybody, for coming in tonight. We had a really good chat. We had about 60 people in the chat. Everyone hanging out, having a good time. Great samples, great company. Thank you so much. It was a really fun weekend. Where is my Amrut? Right here. Thanks again, guys. And like I always say, it's not about the whiskey. It's the people you share it with. Cheers, everybody. And I will see you next week. Take care, everybody.